Hi, everyone. Welcome to day 4 of Save Your Photos Week. I'm Lisa Tonjes Moritz. My business is Hope Organizing, where I'm the Chief Memories Organizer. I'm excited to be here. I am a longtime member of the Photo Managers. In fact, I think today is 13 years, exactly to the day. If it wasn't today, it was yesterday that I joined the Photo Managers. So I have had the opportunity to work with Holly, our speaker today. We were in a masterclass in 2019 together, and then we also co-led the Midwest region of the Photo Managers for 2 years together. So I'm excited to be here to introduce Holly to you today. Save Your Photos Week is a special event hosted. Usually we do Save Your Photos Month in September, which we will still, but just due to all the natural disasters, we thought it was important to get more education out to help you save and share your memories. So we'd encourage you to like this video so that more people can get this information. Follow the Photo Managers on social media, here on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. You'll get more tips, events, and resources to help you with organizing and preserving your photos. If you have any questions today, please put them in the chat and Holly will answer them at the end of her presentation. And today I'd like to give a shout out to Milo, one of our sponsors of Save Your Photos Week. Milo empowers families to keep their photos safe and accessible without cloud lock-ins or device limitations. It provides complete privacy and control of photos on personal devices with automatic backups and fast search functionality. It helps seamlessly organize decades of photos, videos, and documents to create a family history library connecting generations. And it's a really cool program. Encourage you to check it out. And now I get to introduce Holly, our speaker today. She is a certified photo manager and a privacy advocate. She is the owner of Capture Your Photos, which helps families organize, preserve, and share their lifetime of memories. She specializes in digital photo organization. She likes to even do it remotely. Printed photo organizing, scanning services, custom albums, and photo keepsakes. And on a personal note, she's a former corporate professional who transitioned to photo organizing 13 years ago. And she lives in Stillwater, Minnesota with her husband and 3 children. Excited to be here with you, Holly. Take it away.
All right, let's get started. I am just super excited to be with you here to talk about my favorite topic, digital photo organizing. So we're going to just dive right in. I would like to introduce you to my mom. This is my mom. My grandfather, Ralph of Ralph's Service, owned a gas station slash service station slash place in the country where you went for gas and ice cream and a Coke and a beer and a hot dog and just some neighborly conversation. In my family, this place was called The Station. My grandpa was an auto body mechanic, and this station was his dream. The station sat on my grandparents' property right in front of their house where they lived until my grandfather died in 1987. In the mid-60s, there was a fire and the station burned down. They never rebuilt. When I went there to visit, I remember riding a tricycle on the cement pad where the station used to sit. It was very damaged, but we'd get out there in our little tricycles. And while I don't remember ever being told that that's where the station was, I just always knew it. Until about 2019, I had never seen a photo of the station, which seems crazy to me now because we have pictures of everything. But there was a fire, and my grandparents didn't have a lot of money, so they didn't take many photos. When I found these photos in an old box of my mom's memorabilia, it was like finding gold. I was so excited to be able to put a real picture to the stories that I've heard my whole life. I immediately scanned them and added them to my family's collection. This station was my family's legacy. I was never a part of it. It was gone before I was born, but it always felt in a strange way like it was mine too. I can't tell you what it meant to me to be able to put a picture to the story. My mom passed away in 2021. So to see her in this photo as, a young woman getting ready to embark on her life, I just can't describe how that makes me feel. These were originally tiny little prints that I could have so easily missed when going through that box. After my mom died, I printed and framed the photo of my mom for all of my siblings because I knew they would have the same feelings about it that I do. If I wouldn't have scanned it and shared it, first, who knows what would have happened to these photos? But also, so much joy and conversation and stories and relationship building happened because we preserved just a few photos. I want you to imagine having that impact with a whole collection of family memories. Fires happen, and Mother Nature happens. So if we want our family stories to be passed on, we need to protect them. So yesterday we heard about the value of digitizing your memories. And while my story is just one more reason to do that, you can't stop there. I'm so happy to be here to talk to you about organizing and backing up your digital photos through the lens of preservation and keeping them safe. My name, as Lisa said, she already kind of told you a lot of this, is Holly Corbid. I'm the founder and owner of Capture Your Photos. I'm a certified professional photo manager, and I've been in this business actually since 2010, so it's been almost 15 years. I do specialize in digital organizing. I work both one-on-one with clients, as well as I'm the author of the Photo Organizing Blueprint online course series. And that's designed for DIYers. So my husband and I are new empty nesters, and we live in Stillwater, Minnesota, which is right outside of the Twin Cities area, so right outside of Minneapolis, St. Paul. Keeping your photos safe in this digital world is a fundamental necessity if we want our stories and our legacy to be passed on. You can have a collection of digital photos that is uber organized, but if it's not backed up or stored in a safe location, it's at risk. So today, I want to give you some tips on how to keep your digital photos safe, whether it's your old precious memories or the ones you took yesterday. So let's dive in. Tip number 1, take inventory. In order to preserve your memories, you need to know where they are. You need to dive into the computers, the boxes, the bags, the drawers, and you need to make a list. When I talk about your digital photos, these are the things I'm talking about: your computers, your external hard drives, old memory cards, your phones, your flash drives, old CDs and DVDs, and all of those cloud sites that are listed, and more, perhaps. Why do we want to take inventory? Well, the first reason is that it gets you started. Nothing is more overwhelming than not knowing where to start. And the number one thing that people tell me is that they're overwhelmed. Number 2, it allows you to create a plan. Set goals, take the project in pieces, and prioritize what needs your attention first, both for peace of mind and preservation. Number 3, it gives you an opportunity to back up your collection. A collection that's all over the place is really, really difficult to keep safe. To create an inventory of your collection, you simply need to make a list of where everything is living. So here's a photo inventory form that I give to my clients to start that process. If you think this would be a helpful tool for you, go ahead and head over to my website when we're done here at captureyourphotos.com/free guide, and you can get this form along with just some tips on how to get started. Links to this guide, as well as a few other tools, are going to be listed with the webinar later, so you can get it later as well. All right, tip number 2 is to create a digital hub. Once you've figured out where everything is, it's time to figure out where your photos are going to live or where you're going to store your photos. We call that place your digital hub. It's the centralized location where you consolidate and store your full resolution original copy of your digital photos and videos. We recommend that you store your photos on the hard drive of a computer or on an external drive if you don't have enough space on your computer. So usually when I say this, there are two questions. The first is, well, what about the cloud? Can't I just store my photos there? I love a cloud service for backup, accessing your photos from different devices, sharing your photos, and we'll talk more about that because I strongly believe in a cloud site for backup. But I don't recommend relying on a cloud site 100% as the one and only place that your photos are stored. 15 years of experience has told rescuing photos from countless cloud sites, and the fact that so many big name cloud services have made major policy changes in the past 5 years has taught me that owning a copy of your original photos on your computer hard drive or an external drive is your first line of preservation. The second question that I get is more for clarification. Well, what about photo organizing software or an app? Isn't that my digital hub? I want you to think about photo organizing software, apps, and cloud services as tools to help us organize, manage, and access our collections. Where we store our photos is just slightly different. I love a photo organizing processor system that not only allows me to store that full resolution, original copy of my photos on my computer or external drive, but also includes a cloud service that gives me the ability to access all of my photos from my phone or other devices and provides a backup. And it's a bonus when the system has a camera roll app that automatically transfers my photos from my phone to my computer because I'm a little lazy and I don't want to plug in my phone anymore. If I had $1 for every person that tells me that their phone is the only place that their photos are living, I might not be rich, but I would have a very nice little nest egg. So many people rely on either iCloud or Google Photos alone to keep their phone photos safe and never transfer them to a computer. If you've ever had a technical snafu with a cloud service, you know that this is not the safest option for your memories. At the risk of getting into the weeds a bit, I want to give you some examples of photo organizing system setups that meet this criteria simply using the native tools already built into your PC and Mac. Now, I'm going to tell you, these are just examples, and by no means are they the only photo organizing system options out there. There are many, including our sponsor Mylio, as Lisa told you, as Lisa kind of walked through what Mylio does. No matter what system you choose, my recommendation for you is that you use this criteria. Fun AI tools are great, but choosing a system or process that keeps your photos safe should be your #1 priority. So first I want to talk to my PC users. If you have a Microsoft, well, let's first say, so Microsoft Windows and OneDrive are the native tools that are built into your PC. So if you have a Microsoft 365 subscription, which a lot of PC owners do, you're already paying for 1 terabyte of OneDrive space, which is Microsoft's cloud service. You can simply store your photos on your PC hard drive and organize them in File Explorer in a digital hub folder in the OneDrive Pictures folder. By doing this, the photos in that digital hub folder will sync with OneDrive, giving you cloud backup and allowing you to access them from your phone and other devices. It also allows you to save that original copy on your computer, which is our goal. And bonus, there's a camera roll on that OneDrive phone app that automatically syncs your phone photos with your computer. Now, I'm going to be really honest with you. This is not the sexiest photo organizing system out there, but it's a very practical solution for that PC user that really just wants to keep their photos safe, be able to find their photos, and doesn't want to spend a lot of time learning or managing software. All right, Mac users. Vast majority of my Mac users use Apple Photos to organize and manage their photos, which honestly, I love. The app provides the option to save a full resolution copy of your photos on a hard drive while also sharing it with iCloud so you can access and manage it from all the places and have a backup. Now, the tricky thing about the Mac, in my opinion, is the setup, which honestly applies to probably any system that you've come into. But once you get it set up, it works amazingly well. 95+% of my Mac clients choose to stay with Apple Photos. So it looks like this. Apple stores your photos in what they call a photos library. Your photos library's default location is in the Pictures folder, which you can see in Finder on your Mac. The Photos app is really how you interact with your photos. It's the tool that reads that photos library so you can view and organize and manage your photos. In the Photos app settings, you have the option to download your original photos on a computer or optimize Mac storage, which means that the originals are stored in iCloud, and what you see on your computer is basically thumbnails or just these small little images. Again, I want you to own your photos. So selecting download originals to this Mac allows you to own that full resolution copy of your photos while still, excuse me, enjoying the accessibility and sharing and backup that iCloud provides. So just a note, don't go just clicking on that download originals to this Mac unless you have checked how much storage you have on your computer before doing that, because I don't want you to fill up your computer unknowingly. All right, so one of the trends that we're seeing is people coming to us that only have a smartphone or an iPad or a tablet. They don't have a computer. Phones and tablets don't have the hard drive storage space to support storing most full memory collections. As a result, these people are really only relying on the cloud, which is not our first choice. So here are some options if this is you. My first choice for you would be to invest in an inexpensive computer to store your photos. You can continue to enjoy them on your phone or tablet, but I stand firm on that owning a copy of your memories. You want to own your legacy. Another option is purchase a device you plug into your phone that downloads your photos onto that device, which at least gives you a backup that you own. Picture Keeper and a Photo Stick are brands that you hear about a lot. All right, tip number 3. No, just back up for 1 second. I know we went into the weeds a little bit on that, but I do think it's important for you to understand that it's in your best interest to be really intentional with how you store your photos so you can keep them safe. All right, now we're going to go to tip 3. Consolidate your digital photos. Consolidating your photos into a digital hub can be as easy as creating a central folder. We call that folder your original sources. Then creating a folder for each of your sources. So one folder for the photos from your computer, one for the photos from your external hard drive, from your flash drives, etc. And copying all of the photos and videos from each of those sources into their respective folder. You don't need any type of software, app, or cloud service to accomplish this. You can do this either on a Mac in Finder or on a PC in File Explorer. You're simply copying and pasting. There are 3 things that this does for you. Number 1, it gives you one place to go to find what you're looking for, instead of having to go to all the places. Granted, it's probably still a mess, and I would encourage you to go the next steps and deduplicate it and organize it. But if you do nothing else but gather everything into one location, it will be a ton easier to find things, and it will save you a lot of time. So the second thing, if you decide to use some type of software or app, it makes it really easy to import them into a system if you've taken the step to get everything into one place. And then lastly, and most importantly, it allows you to back it up. Once again, it's really difficult to keep your photos backed up and safe when they're all over the place. Tip number 4, make 3 copies of your digital hub. Backing up your photos is critical for preserving your memories and will literally save you if Mother Nature hits or technology fails you, which happens all the time. This is best practice for backup. They call this a 3-2-1 strategy. So the first copy is your originals on a computer hard drive or an external drive. We've talked about that. The second is a copy on an external drive that is a different device than your copy number 1. But it can be that's an external drive. And number 3 is an offsite copy. Most often, that's a cloud site these days, but it can be an external drive that is not in your home. All right, let's dive into these a little bit further. So let's talk about copy number 1. Again, on your computer hard drive or an external drive. So the challenge that a lot of people have these days is not having much hard drive storage space on your computer. At some point, computer people decided that everyone should just store everything in the cloud versus owning their data. So they started making and actively selling computers with really small hard drives. In fact, I kind of had this experience. I went into a Best Buy one day to buy a new computer, and I had this nice young gentleman try to convince me that I didn't need hard drive space. I just needed it because I could just keep everything in the cloud. He didn't know what I did, and I tried to explain. I didn't go into a lot of detail, but unless you have some knowledge of this, most consumers, they just didn't know better, so they bought these small hard drives. But now what's happening is they're running out of storage space on their computers, and they need to turn to external drives. So here are a few things that I want you to consider with this original copy. First of all, if you're buying an external drive, I highly recommend a solid state drive, which is more reliable than your traditional external hard drive. It's just newer technology. They are a little more expensive, but 100% worth it for longevity. I have my clients buy external drives with 2 terabytes of storage space when they start their project. Number 2, if you're storing your photos on an external drive, think about switching it out every 3 to 5 years. Research has told us that this is the average life of an external drive. And number 3, if you buy a new computer, I recommend you buy one with at least 1 terabyte of hard drive space. It's just easier than having to connect your external drive every time you want to do something with your photos. I actually just bought a new computer and I bought 2 terabytes. One more reason people use external drives is the flexibility of being able to pick it up and work with their photos on other computers. If this is you and a cloud service doesn't provide this flexibility for you, which it can, just make sure that you really take good care of that external drive. All right, copy number 2. Typically, a second copy of your library is on an external drive. It must be on a different device than your first copy, because if a storm takes out your computer where you saved both copy 1 and copy 2, your photos are gone. If you're a Mac user, I recommend using Time Machine to accomplish this, which is the automatic backup tool that is built into your Mac. If you're a PC user, simply make a copy of your digital hub folder periodically on an external drive. There are other physical backup systems you can use on a PC and invest in, but honestly, I just copy and paste. It's just easiest. All right, copy number 3 is an offsite copy. This is the copy that's your go-to if something happens to your home. However, I've also used this when I've had technology fails or when I've gotten a new computer. These days, our offsite copies are usually cloud services because they can be set up to automatically back up your photos so you don't have to remember to update that external drive in the safe deposit box. In our perfect world, where we like to live sometimes, the cloud service that you use for backup is a true backup service and not one that is syncing your library between devices, such as the examples I gave you with iCloud and OneDrive. The reason for this is because if you accidentally delete from one, it will delete from the other. Now, with that said, the chance of both copy number 2 and copy number 3 going down at the same time, probably not very likely. I do love an automatic backup service though. Basically what this type of service can do is it can back up your whole library and external drives anytime you're on Wi-Fi. It happens automatically and I'm lazy. So for me, it's $99 a year of peace of mind. My go-to for pure backup service is Backblaze, but there are others. You can find a link to Backblaze on my website resources page, along with a bunch of other links to my favorite products and services. Just a note, in the past year or so, Microsoft did something with OneDrive that made it unable to back up Backblaze and Carbonite and likely others, which is a big bummer. I still love Backblaze though, and it has saved my bacon multiple times. But PC users, if you're using OneDrive, you might need to get creative and use it to back up that second copy on an external drive instead of copy number 1 that's on OneDrive. All right, lastly, I want to have a really honest conversation with you about paying for cloud services. I can't tell you the number of times that people have said to me, I don't want to keep paying Apple or whoever the service of the day is. When cloud services first became a thing, so many services were offering free cloud service, storage space for photos. Think Google, Flickr, Shutterfly. As the digital world has progressed, that has changed. And now what we know is if someone is offering free cloud storage, there's usually a catch. They are either compressing your photos, compromising your privacy, making you purchase something if you want to store your photos there, or making it really hard to get them out. We have to adjust our thinking. I want you to think about the things that you grab if there was a fire or a major storm. Most people, after their family and pets, say their photos. Some of you have experienced this very personally and very recently. $3 a month or even $10 a month is 100% worth it to know that those memories are safe. Having a cloud service backup is the easiest, most efficient, and most reliable way to back up your digital photos, especially in the event of a storm or a fire. In reality, we are still all figuring out this digital photo thing, and every day new solutions are being created in response to the challenges that people are having. We're only about 20 years into this mainstream digital photo world with cloud services not joining us until the early 2010s and beyond. Personally, I've 100% felt that industry-wide learning curve. None of us know what this is going to look like for the next generation. What we know now is that how we take and store our memories has changed dramatically since their inception. And if we want to pass on our family stories and legacy, we need to use the information we have today to make thoughtful and intentional choices about how and where we store our photos. Our kids are digital natives. While many of us grew up looking at photo albums, our kids love enjoying and sharing photos digitally. And every day we see new and creative ways that people are doing it. We need to keep up, which means that if we want future generations to love and embrace our family stories, we need to protect and safeguard our digital memories against whatever Mother Nature or technology throws at us. I wish that our digital photos were as sturdy and durable as this booth. This booth came from my grandpa's station. It sits in my kitchen and we use it every day. It was one of the few things that survived the fire. My dad lovingly restored it back in the 70s, and it lived in my parents' house until I inherited it about 25 years ago. And like my photos, it has a very cool story that I look forward to sharing with my grandkids someday. Here are some resources that might be helpful for you. We talked about the Getting Started guide that you can get on my website. There's another guide that might be helpful. It's another freebie, how to automatically sync your photos to your PC using OneDrive and Dropbox. This is really in response to those people that don't want to plug their phone anymore, when you can automatically make it go from your phone to your computer. You can also grab that on my website. And if you're interested in learning more about how to organize and preserve your memories, you can check out our online course series called the Photo Organizing Blueprint. Thank you again for joining us today, and I am happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, Holly. That was great. So many good tips.
Stop sharing.
Okay. I know we have some questions. I think they're going to be up on the screen shortly. Okay, first from Suzanne. If you have the photos on your phone automatically sent to Dropbox, where are the original copies?
They are living in Dropbox. Yeah, so if you have your photos syncing with your computer, then there's a chance that they're living on your computer, but usually there's little green check marks. So cloud services are a little tricky, which is kind of that whole setup thing. You just have to make sure it's set up well. And so with Dropbox, if they're syncing with your computer, which they can do, you can do a setting, and I can't tell you just off the hand what it is without looking at it. But basically setting it so there's a little green check mark, so they are also stored on your computer as well as in Dropbox. But Dropbox is a great solution.
It's what I use to back up my own photos on my phone. So
yeah. Yep.
Okay, this one is from David. When it comes to storage options, what about a NAS?
Yeah, That's next level. A NAS, is a great, like, if so, a NAS is a oh, Lisa, help me out. What's the acronym stand for? Network attached storage. Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's basically a system that you can get for your house, and you can back up to the NAS storage. To be honest, I'm not an expert in NASs, but that is one way that you can your store your photos. But that shouldn't be your only way. You should make sure that you're also still have that 3-2-1 thing going on.
Okay, from Diane, what is the best way to get your photos from an old computer and what to put them on?
Yeah, I would get one of those external drives, and I would see if you can bring that baby up. Sometimes those old computers are kind of stubborn, but if you can get it to power up, get an external drive. If you're looking for recommendations, you go to the resources page of captureyourphotos.com, and there will be a recommendation for you there on a type that I like. Again, I love a solid state drive. And then plug it into that old computer, and then you just kind of hunting and pecking, I think, is quite honestly the easiest, most efficient way to, some people would argue that. Sorry. Rebecca, if you need me to do something, let me know. Sorry, Rebecca is sending me a message. Okay, she said all good. Sorry about that. So plug it into the computer and just start copying photos from the computer onto that external drive. Copy paste.
And right now we only have one more question. So if you have more questions, feel free to add them. This is from Kathy. How do you go about consolidating your photos right onto an external hard drive? Do you go onto your computer and then click and drag to the EHD, or is there a way to have it go directly to the EHD?
Yeah, you can't just plug it. Well, you can't just plug it in and have it go. Now, there are some different types of tools that will do that. Like, I think Picture Keeper has some tools that'll go find all the JPEGs or certain formats or whatever. But quite honestly, I think I trust just kind of that hunting and pecking method. And all you have to do, your photos are going to live likely in the pictures folder, a documents folder, desktop folder, or downloads folder. And so what I recommend that my clients do is, not my clients, I'm usually doing that for them, but what people will do is to just go into that folder and look for photos. And as you find them, you can, and on a PC, you can click and drag. I don't know. Sometimes I think copy and paste is sometimes better to do, because I worry about losing metadata when you're clicking and dragging. In some cases that happens. And so I'm more of a copy paste or even a moving and pasting depending on where it's coming from. Let me see if I don't know if yeah, it's not an automatic process. I wish that there was a magic button to do it all, but I think to be really safe and confident that you feel like you've got everything, just go through your computer.
Okay, she's saying, I meant bringing other EHDs and flash drives in. Okay.
You mean copying them to the external drive? If that's what you mean, yeah, it's a copy paste thing. You can plug to, most computers have multiple ports that you can plug things into, and so you can copy and paste from one to the central one that you're using. So that original sources, and you have external hard drive, LaCie or whatever brand, or name it however you want, and then just copy it from one to the other, or move it in some cases.
Okay, this is from another Kathy. How do you get an automatic backup on a Mac? Do you go to Backblaze website, Time Machine?
Yeah, so the automatic backup on the Mac for a local version is Time Machine. And Time Machine, if you go into your system settings in a Mac, so go up to the little apple, click on the apple, and you'll have a choice to hit settings or system preferences if you have an old version. And if you go in there, and I believe it's under general in the latest operating system, there will be a choice for Time Machine. And if you just click on Time Machine, it'll ask you, where do you want to back them up? And you hit the, button to do that, and you can go browse for your external drive, plug it in, and then it will start automatically backing up. And then every time you go and you plug in that external drive, it will back up for you to that external drive. I didn't get the Backblaze is a whole different thing. Backblaze is the up and down, it's an automatic backup service whenever you're on Wi-Fi kind of thing. Okay, the three locations are: the first copy is on your computer or external drive. Second copy is on a second external drive if you have a one, so a second copy in a different place than your first copy is. And then the third one is somewhere offsite. Cloud service is great, or you could make another copy on an external drive and put it somewhere other than your home.
Just a second here. Okay. I'm not. Just a second.
I have a question about duplicates. Do we want to answer that one?
Yeah, I was just waiting for it to come up on the screen. Okay.
Duplicate photos from accidental multiple copies. A duplicate finder is really your best way. So if you're a PC user, Duplicate Cleaner Pro, might be still called just Duplicate Cleaner now, is one good tool for PC users. For Macs, I like Photo Sweeper. They're just apps that you can get, or software in the PC case that you can get, and you can flush out those duplicates.
Okay. We are going to wrap up the call now. But if you have additional questions, or if there was something we missed, we're sorry about that. We will try to come back and answer them on the YouTube comments. Again, thank you so much, Holly. Thanks for everyone that is here and asking questions. It's been a great, lots of questions and interacting. Again, just want to remind you to like this video, subscribe to the Photo Managers channel, and stay tuned. There's for more Save Your Photos week. Tomorrow's class is how to digitize and organize important documents and keepsakes, and tools for safeguarding what matters, with Jill Rivers. And another thank you to Mylio for being a sponsor. And I just want to say thank you to everyone again, and we hope to see you again soon. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.